everyone, welcome to my channel. This video is going to be my take on the Reign series finale. It really took a toll on me. It broke my heart. Reign is my all-time favorite show. I would rewatch this show all the time. I'd binge watch it. Just whenever I was in the mood, I would just go back and watch the seasons, and this was the series finale, so I'm absolutely gutted with it. Obviously, this is gonna have some spoilers, so if you haven't seen it, don't watch this video, or if you want to ruin it for yourself, then you can watch it, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's just gonna be my take on it in regards to just the last episode and actual history. If you're a Reign fan, then yes, thank you for visiting this video, because I know that there's not many of us. It's really weird for someone to know what the show is. A lot of the things that I realized on the last episode, I loved it. However, I do feel like they kind of just rushed everything into the last episode. Literally, they didn't tell us like, hey, 4 episodes left or this. Like, I knew it was the last season, but out of nowhere, they're just like, only 2 episodes left. And I was like, what? Like, I need to mentally prepare myself that this is gonna be over, and I didn't have that chance to, because they kind of just like threw it at you. My big thing with this last episode is I just felt like they crammed a lot into it. They skipped over a lot before Mary got imprisoned. And the reason why in the show that she was imprisoned was because Boswell committed the murder of Darnley, which in real life he is a suspect, and they think that Mary was behind it, but it wasn't an immediate arrest, and he didn't get imprisoned right after it happened like it showed in the show. And if you are a history fan and you know about Mary, Queen of Scots, then you know that she marries Bothwell, and that just, it causes a huge uprising, because a lot of like the subjects are not for that marriage. It is frowned upon, and they are not supporting the marriage, and that is why she was imprisoned. They really, I think that they could have even made a whole new season what happens to her after Darnley, instead of just throwing it into one episode. So what happens after Lord Darnley dies? Mary marries Boswell. Now in the show, Boswell is this amazing guy that we all just love, and he will do anything for Mary, but that's not how it is in real life. In real life, he basically took her hostage. He took her hostage, and we don't know if she went willingly or if she went because he forced her, but afterwards they end up getting married. So that's just kind of, you know, up and down, because a lot of people thought that Bothwell killed Darnley, so why would Mary marry the man who killed her husband? And in that marriage, she ends up getting pregnant with twins who she miscarries when she's imprisoned. They gave Bothwell the opportunity to flee, so he had the chance to go free, but they imprisoned her, and they made her basically sign away her throne. Like, you're no longer the queen, bye. Because they didn't agree with everything that she was doing. So when she's imprisoned, she raises an army of troops, and then she ends up escaping, where she escapes to Queen Elizabeth. Another thing that kind of was iffy to me was, like, out of nowhere she was imprisoned by Elizabeth after killing Darnley. Well, after Bothwell kills Darnley in the show. And that's not how it goes. So while I'm watching this, I'm like, why is she with Elizabeth right now? That's not supposed to happen. They kind of made it seem that after the death of Darnley, she got sent to England, which isn't how it worked. She went to England hoping that Elizabeth would help her to regain her throne and just for safety, but Elizabeth imprisoned her. Why? Maybe it was because she did have Darnley's death like on her shoulders. Maybe it was because Elizabeth was a very insecure queen when it came to Mary, because people preferred a Catholic queen on the English throne. I can't speak fast. Like, things are coming to my mind and I'm speaking and it's like a blah blah, or I just can't breathe. It's really weird. Moving on. Long story short, Elizabeth ends up imprisoning her. She is her prisoner for 19 years. She's asking Elizabeth for her help. Elizabeth isn't helping her get her throne back. She ends up conspiring against Elizabeth, and that is what gets her killed. In the show, it really made it seem as if it was just Darnley's death that got her killed, when that's not. I didn't feel like it was factual, and I felt like they were leaving a lot of history out of it, which, like I said, I do think they could have made another season out of the show, because it was just, there was so much more, So, she conspired against Elizabeth, and when Elizabeth found out that she was sending letters in and out of the castle, she signed her death warrant. And that is where we stand with Mary getting killed. She conspired to take Elizabeth's throne, which was a big threat to Elizabeth her whole life until Mary died. Moving on to the French part of the show, this really got me, and I would really like to know your opinion or what you guys think of it, if this kind of like made you wonder, if it was a cliffhanger to you, because to me, I just don't know what to think about it. At the end of French Court, they showed Queen Catherine, talking to the witch, and the witch says, "Your only hope is your daughter Margot." Now, in the whole series, we never heard about Margot, and to me, it just seemed like a big deal. Like, are they going to make a new show with Margot, or who is Margot? Like, what's the point of Margot? And Queen Catherine ends up going and getting Margot from wherever the hell she is. But she ends up saying, "I need you by my side." So tell me if you guys thought anything strange about that, or maybe if you guys think that they might make a series because of Margot, or like if you guys know anything in general about Margot. If you do, let me know, because I'm super curious, and that's just kind of rattling around in my brain right now. Just taking apart everything from history and like from what I'm wondering. We saw that Elizabeth went through the golden age. She was successful. You know, she's one of the badass queens, as opposed to Mary, who was just a devastated, and she had a horrible life. Like, her life was tragic. That is the one word for Mary, tragic. They did a really good job at showing that part of it, and throughout the whole series, the way that they just portrayed Mary was so amazing and empowering. She was such a strong woman through everything. By far my favorite queen. I've said it before. You just really get a connection with her watching this show. I want to take it away from all of the sadness. This is where I started crying like a baby. Obviously, I knew Mary was going to die, so it wasn't really a surprise. It hurt, but it wasn't a surprise to me. But when she dies, what happens after that was just beautiful. They have her wake up, and you just hear Francis's voice. And as soon as I hear that, I am just crying. So many tears gushing down my face, because that just made me so happy, because I loved Francis so much and I loved their relationship together. So for them just to do that little thing at the end and a little montage of like her happiness in her life, and even just everything that happened in her life in like 2 minutes, it was just the most beautiful thing. And it made me very happy that they decided to make her finally happy after everything happened. Now, of course, this isn't actual history, but it was just so beautiful to see that they did that at the end of the show. Overall, amazing show. Great last episode. They could have done more with it. That's my only complaint, because I pinpointed a few of the things that I thought they could have tweaked, but I loved it so much, and I'm super sad to see it go. So if you're a big fan of Reign, let me know if you have any questions or you just want to chat about it. I am always down for a Reign chat, because like I said, not many people know about it, so I don't really have people to talk to about it. And that's why I decided to make this video, because if there are the few of you guys who are interested in it and want to watch it, or kind of talk about it, or hear someone else's opinion on it, you can kind of just come here, leave me comments, message me, whatever. I want to hear your opinions, what you felt about the last episode, and just in general, like what you thought about Reign. So thank you so much for watching this video, and if you liked it, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Peace out!